All right. Welcome back, guys. This is Midori, and this is part two of drawing Valkyrie from Apex Legends new season. I believe it's season 9. And this is a realistic Photoshop matte painting drawing. So, yeah. Um, this is part two, and we're going to continue where we left off on the last time. So, I'm not necessarily doing the finishing touches right now. This is mostly, I believe, more of the texture work, a little bit more background, and but I will still try to finish this up in this live stream for you guys. Uh, but if you didn't catch uh, the earlier the part one of the Photoshop matte painting drawing painting, you can I'm going to upload the speed painting version of this, so that way you can follow along that way. And I'll explain what I'm doing during the speed painting version of this live stream. So yeah. So starting off where I left off. Let's see. All right. So. No, don't have to save it. Okay, so let me just save this. So, hmm. Now, for the background, what I want to do is add some sparks, almost, and some, like, maybe like a sort of like a forklift, but you know what? I might just leave it the way it is. I might even get rid of, because I feel like the Titan in the back stands out a little bit too much. So I might get rid of the Titan altogether. Okay, so, but first I'm going to finish up on, I believe, yeah, I'm gonna add the sparks. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to, I can either painting the sparks or I can look and see if there's a PNG. Before you even try to paint, you should always look if there's a PNG version of it, so that way you can save yourself some time. And I believe I do see there's quite a few actually. This looks good. So right now I'm just downloading different sparks and try to see which one's going to work with the composition. I don't want it to be too dramatic, but more subtle kind of sparks. And so far, the ones that I'm finding is a little bit too small in terms of pixel count. So I'm gonna in Google, when you go to the search, actually change the search to large pixels. So that is what I'm doing. Just trying to find something that's probably going to work. Something that's a little subtle and not too. It's gonna be too dramatic. And you're about to see it in a second. I think I found one. All right. So, all right. Okay. So now I'm going into my layers, and I'm probably going to close the model layer. Since this is the background, I'm going to go into background. Okay, that's a little bit of the back. That's that right there. Okay. So for this background, before I add the sparks, I'm going to use my mask tool. And I'm just going to get rid of some of this background that's popping up. So make sure I'm in the mask layer, I select the mask, and I press X on the keyboard, and now I'm just fading out this background right here. It's a little bit too much. Fading that away. Increase the opacity just a little bit, about 50%. And then now I'm going to select the other layer that's on top. And just fade that out because we don't need that. It's kind of a distraction. Okay, so now the background is more faded out. So now I'm going to go beneath this layer, sort of the same layer of the smoke layer. So this is smoke. Smoke back BG. And then on top of this, and I'm calling this spark BG. So now I'm going to go to File, Place, Embedded. I'm going to go to my folders. It's off screen, so you can't see. But right now, for some reason, OBS won't record menus for some reason. I don't know why. So I'm going to go into my matte painting folder, and then in here I'm going to look for the sparks that I just downloaded and place it. And it's extremely small, but I should be able to use it, I think. Trying to figure out where this will look the best. Okay. Now you see this is not really a PNG, but you could probably still use it. So I'm going to rasterize this layer. So I just right click and then I choose rasterize. You can't see it because it's off, like it's not recording it, but make sure to call it spark. Now I'm going to go to the layer menu and then just change the, try to find something that blends in. That looks good. I like screen. Color dodge is even better. Okay. That's overlay. So yeah, overlay might work. But hard light works even better. Okay, so now that's hard light. So what I want to do though, I want the spark just Control J and create another copy. I want some to be behind the smoke. And then the front spark, which is here, that's on top. We'll call it top spark. I'm going to go down here to where, if you can see, where it says mask. And then now I'm just going to use my brush and paint away some of the sparks that's on the bottom. A little bit too strong. Like that. That looks good. And I also want sparks to fall from, but you know what, I'm going to leave that the way it is. for now. So what I want to do next is Valkyrie's hair is more silver, so I'm going to try to focus on changing her hair now. So I'm going to close the background for now. This is all background. On the background layer. Alright. So for now, that's on the background. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into the model folder, open that up. And then in here, I'm gonna go to the top hair folder. This is the top hair. So I don't really think I have to. I think all I have to do is go in here. Okay, that's the color balance. I don't want the color balance just yet. You see how I make it cool? It affects the whole thing. I just want to create a layer adjustment. That's that. Where is it? Okay, so I'm trying to figure out. No. Okay, so this hair right here, all of these hairs. I'm gonna try to create a layer adjustment. So we go to the file, new fill layer, new adjustment layer. I want to go to. I want to try color balance first. So this is a color balance, just like the one up here. But I want it to be just in her hair. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to quickly just select. Let's see if I can add the color balance just in her hair. See how that looks. This is like rough and dirty selection. I'm just because right now I'm just trying to select this color balance and see it does it to the whole layer. So if it's doing that, then I need to. I'm probably gonna have to let me see. Probably gonna have to do it this way. I'm probably gonna have to combine these layers together because I can't the adjustment layers affecting everything. Okay, let me right click this. Yeah, so won't be able to see how I got that selected now, but the problem is there you go. So that's a little bit what I was kind of looking for, because she has a bluish gray hair. So I'm going to do the same thing for this. Do the same for this layer. Right now I'm just selecting the layer that's selected, and I'm going to image autotone, image autotone. There you go. And when this is selected, I can also trying to see. I could probably zoom out. Take a quick look at it. It looks okay. Trying to figure out. So I can probably try this again. No, not what I want. What I might have to do, okay, I'm gonna delete this, delete that. Okay, so what I might do is that I might do a layer of a fill layer, add a color to it, change that color to gray, and just overlay the gray on top of it here to make it a little bit more gray. So I'm gonna try that. Okay, so, and then I'm just gonna make it gray, like that. So now this layer, I can probably, now I'm gonna play with the layer masking on top. So I'm just playing around, seeing what might work. Obviously, so the fill is not going to work. Okay, that might work. The hue. The only problem is I'm gonna have to. What I will do is go into this mask layer, use my brush. For some reason, the other keyboard is not working, so I'm gonna go here to the brush, select the brush. All I'm gonna do is probably just paint away like that. So now it's a little bit more gray, but at the same time, I want it to still have some of that blue that we had earlier. So I'm going to just in patches. Get rid of using it as like a highlight, just like that. You see how some parts are still blue. That's a little maybe, and then some parts at the top still blue. Then some of this is gray. Yep, just like that. Keep looking at it. Oh wait, crap. I didn't have the face selected, so it's actually making her face. Which looks cool, but it's not necessarily the look I was going for. I mean, it looks cool, but this is what I call a happy accident. I actually kind of like the way it looks like that. But what I want to do though is I'm just gonna leave it like one side. Like right, like yeah, just half of her face. I mean, where her eyes is. I guess that's okay for now. Let me save this. So now what I want to do is I want to add some Japanese or Chinese kanji, like lettering on her wings and this armor plate right here. So I'm not gonna paint that in. I'm just gonna put Japanese yeah. So I'm gonna look for something that might work. This looks cool, but I need a high resolution. I don't want it. So right now I'm on Google, and I'm just looking for Japanese kanjis, PNGs, and I'm just gonna use something that can work. Let me see this. Okay, that could probably work. I want something that's more painterly. That could probably work. That will not work. Right now I'm just looking at different Japanese kanjis. This could definitely work. I am using that. Okay, so I found some letters that can work. Alright, and so now I'm going to go back in Photoshop now. And here I'm just going to leave that the way it is for now. So now I'm going to go into the, still in the model layer, but I'm looking for not the vest, not the face accessories. Okay, which layer is it? Okay, so the since it's on top, I'm just going to create a new layer, a new folder actually, and call it Japanese textures. So now with this Japanese texture, I'm going to load in the PNG of the Japanese kanji that I downloaded into this layer. So I'm just going to go to File, and then now I'm just going to look for that kanji, the one that I like, which is this. Crap. And you see, this is the problem. Some PNGs that they have on the internet, sometimes they say they're PNGs, but they're not PNGs. I mean, I can probably do an overlay. But you see, it also takes the background, that's not what I'm looking for. Let me see. See, not even multiply. I mean, I could add it, but okay, so that might work. So what I'm using is darken. I put the layer into darken, and now I'm able to. All I'm doing is this PNG Japanese kanji letter, I layer mask to darken. So now I got rid of the background. So I'm going to scale this down. And what I want to do is actually let's say if it's like right there. It needs to be behind her wing, like some sort of like that, behind her head. I want to select this, right? So I'm going to control click inside this layer. I'm going to try to fill it. Something tell me. You see, I don't like the fact how low resolution that is. I'm gonna see how it looks. I'm gonna fill it with white. It's not. Alright, so looks like we're gonna have to use. That's not gonna work. So looks like we're gonna have to use. Thank you for the like, whoever liked just now. So I'm gonna go to File, I'm going to paste, and now I'm gonna use another one, a real PNG. Hopefully this one works. I'm going to try. This one might work. Okay, that is huge. But again, also, a lot of files claim that they're PNGs, but they're not. The ones that you download, you see, it still has data. It still has pixels. Because even if you change the layer mask, I put it to multiply, you still see the square box of how the file, the resolution of the file itself, and not the actual. So to get around this, I'm gonna have to select everything on the outside, I just use the selection tool or the magic wand. I select the outside, the tolerance is at 30% up here. And all I'm gonna do is, I could do two things. I could either just press delete, and that will delete everything around it, or I could have chose file inverse or selection, select inverse, and then select just the Japanese kanji. So now I should just have the kanji there. I'm going to scale this down. I just did a Control T, and I can still see that there's still some of more pixels on top. So I'm going to use the magic wand again, select outside, delete. Okay, now deselect. So now I'm going to go Control T. That's for transform. And I'm just going to scale this down and just fit it. I'm trying to figure out where should I put it. I kind of want it behind this. Or I might put it on the front wing. I think the front wing is going to look a little bit better. Okay, so then take this Japanese layer. I think it's the front wing in between here. Yep. Make sure this is selected. See how this looks. Just let you know, FYI guys, I don't even know what this says. I could have researched that, but for time's sake, I'm just gonna put it there. So now, what I'm gonna do is use the wand tool again. Select everything on the outside of this layer, and I'm gonna go to select inverse. You can't see it because it's not recorded, but that's why I just selected right there. I'm gonna inverse it. So now I just have this selected, and it looks like I need more, actually more of it selected. But let's see, I'm gonna go to fill. Let's see if I can fill this one. Now this is probably filling with white. Okay, so now let's bring this back to normal. Yeah, so you see, that's what I wanted to do. But right now it's a little bit too strong, so I'm gonna try screen, play around with the, there you go. I think overlay works the best, because now I get the textures. So now it looks like it's part of the wing, it's designed with the wing in mind. So now that's there, and then to even make it even more worn looking, I'm going to put a layer mask in. I just selected this square down here for layer mask. I select the mask. I'm going to use my brush, and then I'm going to go into brushes and use a textured brush. I'm going to change the direction of the brush. Can't see it because it's not recording that part for some reason. But all I'm doing is changing the brush like this. See, the brush now has changed. Increase the brush size a little bit even bigger, and make sure the direction. All I'm doing is actually I want to make it smaller because it's a little bit too big. Yeah, so I'm trying to make it a little bit more faded looking. Yeah, so it works. Yeah. So sort of like that. Looks like it has some kind of texture to it. It's not just one one color. It actually has texture to it now with the Japanese kanji. Okay. Okay, so now that that's done, okay, so what should we work on next? Um, I should go back to my reference. So the reference that I had was that's some of the reference. See, I'm not doing that particular suit. I'm doing that. That's what I'm working on. But a combination of uh, of that and the new suit. Okay, I'm doing it like if I was to do it, if it was to make a movie, like how would I make a realistic looking version? That's what sort of like what I'm doing. Since there's no this is still a magazine cover, and I haven't even figured out where the text is gonna go, but I'm sort of have an idea. So what I'm gonna do is I want to get the magazine done, but before I'm jumping around, I want to do another uh, textured uh, Japanese kanji. So, but it's going to be so we'll create another layer. Yeah, that looks good. I really like that. That was good. All right, but I'm gonna download it, embed another Japanese kanji, but I want it to go somewhere else. Sort of like all I do is file, embed, right click in the file, then I'm going to go to rasterize. I have to rasterize it in order to I have to rasterize the file in order to edit it. So then now I need to select this Japanese kanji. So I'm going to use the quick selection, which is the magic wand. I'm going to click on the outside. It's going to select everything on the outside of this Japanese kanji, but then I have to go to select. You can't see the select because for some reason OBS is not recording it. I'm going to go to inverse, select inverse. So now it's just going to select the actual kanji and not the white pixels. And I'm going to hold Control J to just copy out the Japanese kanji and leave the background, just like that. That is what I wanted. So now I'm just going to go Control T to grab the whole entire kanji. And now I'm going to bring this is actually in front of the best layer, sort of somewhere. I'm just going to put it on top, even higher. There you go. Rename this Japanese, okay, the kanji, and then make it, call it shoulder. So now I'm going to use I want it to go on top of sort of on top. This is why you have to, because the file that I'm working for is, it's a large file. It's like, It's like the canvas size is 22 by 16, but it's a magazine size, A4 magazine size. So when you're working with any JPEGs or PNGs that you download from the internet, you gotta make sure that they're high resolution. It's good to see. As soon as I zoom in, they start to pixelate. Um, but in this case, it's not gonna matter too much because this is a texture, so it's not gonna. It doesn't have to be really high resolution. Get inside of here, delete this, delete that, delete. You know what? I'm gonna keep that the way it is. Somebody's messaging me. What is this? Sorry guys, I had to. Somebody messaged me. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is the same thing as before. I want to select everything that's on the inside. So I'm just holding down shift and using the magic wand. The plus sign, it turns into a plus. You see I let it go, I hold shift, it turns into a plus. Now all of this is selected. And I want to fill this. So this is the F. F again. F again. Ooh, that didn't kill. I forgot how to use the phone. So I'm just gonna make these white with the paint bucket tool. Now that it's white, deselect it. What I want to do is use the Control T, scale this down like so. I want it to fit across her shoulder armor, shoulder pad. So first I'm going to scale it so where it kind of looks right. But now I'm going to mess with the perspective. So I'm going to go to Edit, Transform. I'm going to go to Perspective. And then I'm going to bring this down like so. Bring that side down like so. Oh, see? Scale that out. Ooh. You see how I did that? Press enter. And now I'm going to do press V for selection. And then use the arrow keys to just move it over some. And now what I'm going to do is either I'm going to leave that the way it is because I kind of think it's cool. But I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use that brush again and just clean away some of it. See, I get that. See that? Wow. So now it looks like worn. Maybe it's a little bit too much. Okay. That's good. 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. Somebody's at the door. I have to get the door. Okay, so I'm back now. So that's looking good. Okay, so let me save this. Let me save it as part 7. You can't see me saving it, but I'm saving it right now. I just wish OBS would just record when the menus. I don't know why it doesn't record the menus. I'm trying to figure that out. They say it's like a graphics, maybe it's a graphics, like a graphics card thing, but I don't know why it does that. All right, hold on 1 second. Okay, so let me change that music because I know somebody's probably getting tired of that music right now. So let me change the music to something else. Okay. So I just changed the music. It sounds kind of low. Turn it up a little bit. Okay, there you go. All right, so now what should we work on? Okay, I don't. Oh yeah, the title in terms of what kind of magazine it's going to be. So what should we call it? I think Apex Magazine, Apex Mag, Apex Legends, Apex Legends Mag. I don't know. I guess Apex Magazine sounds the best. I'm also is not just the name, but it's also the text placement that I'm thinking about. Because a lot of the times it's just the best magazine is just one word. That usually I could just put Apex, but it's not really long enough to fill the whole page horizontally. So I mean, I could uh, do abbreviation like Apex, then Legends, really big. So I'm thinking that's going to work. But a lot of them, hmm. Okay, so I'm going to just play around. So what first I'm going to do is I'm going to I'm typing in Google magazine cover fonts, right? I'm looking at ones that will probably fit it. So I think I'm gonna go to dot fonts, DAFONT, and I'm going to look at the magazine fonts that they have. I could use magazine, or I could use. No, I don't like that. I'm thinking about like a serif font will probably work the best. Like a sans Harry. Let me see. Something. So far, I don't see anything that I like. There's a font called Kite. There's one called Porter. I think I'm going to use. I like the Empire. You know what? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it so that it's sort of like an Empire uh, magazine, right? So it's gonna be Empire, but it's gonna say Apex Legends at the bottom as a subtitle. So yeah, I'm gonna use Empire font. Or Complex is pretty good too. I think I'm gonna either Complex or. And also, I'm gonna get rid of the Titan in the background. It's too much. It's too much of a distraction. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna use. I'm gonna use the comp. The font is called. Yeah, I'm gonna use Complex. So right now I'm downloading the font and I'm installing the font. But I don't know. I think the Empire might look the the best. But let's see Complex first. So I'm just gonna create another folder. I'm gonna call this. This is the very top folder. Delete. Oh, what is this? I'm not using any of these. So I'm going to delete these, and I'm going to create a new folder and call it title. If I can correctly, yeah. Create a new layer, drop this layer inside that title folder. Okay, so now I'm gonna add the font. I just realized the music stopped somehow. Let's get the music back on. Okay, So now I'm going to go to text or T on the keyboard, and I'm going to look for complex. And let's try complex. Now where's the bold version? It did not give me a bold when I... Okay, let's open up the... There's only regular. No, all caps is not gonna work. Even if I bold it. That was not the complex I was looking for. Oh, that is definitely not the complex. What is that? Okay, so trying to figure out why does this complex look the way it does. There's no other complex, it's just this one. Sometimes you download fonts and they will say one thing, but it's really another. So instead of complex, hold on, let me like I installed it, but I replaced the install. Let's see if I can get, because it's supposed to be bold, like a strong complex, but so since the complex font is broken, the TIFF that I downloaded, I'm gonna try to make it an Empire magazine instead of complex. So now I'm back on dafont.com, DAFONT.com, and I'm searching in the search bar, and I'm putting Empire. Right now I'm trying to see if I can get the Empire font. The Empire magazine font. Some of these fonts, they want you to pay for them. Let me tell you, you don't really want to pay for fonts. Fonts should be free for every designer. And right now I can't, like if I can't find the Empire font, what I might do, Empire magazine. What I might do is I might just download a PNG. So if you can't find a font will be better because you know you could do whatever you want with the font. You know. Matter of fact, what does since this is a video game, F that. Since it's Apex Legends, instead of doing Empire, instead of doing Complex, let's do Game Informer. Hopefully, we could get it. Okay, so hopefully I don't get a virus trying to find this phone. And if I can't find, what I might do is just download the PNG. So yeah, I think to save time, I'm just gonna go. The font is called Soft Robo. That's what the font is called. Okay, and I have to pay for it. So we're gonna put Game Informer logo PNG into Google. So now I'm in the, yeah, so that's what we're gonna have to do. And make sure you download when you're in Google. Pick in large size, and I'm just gonna use the Game Informer PNG. All right. So this is gonna be a mock Game Informer cover. I'm looking at the recent Resident Evil 1. Okay, so there's nothing too tricky about it. They don't do anything crazy. So now I'm gonna go to the font. File embed. Select the logo. You see, they always say PNG, and then the PNG has pixel data. So I'm gonna. This is so frustrating, and it's. So let's try another one. This is why I wanted the font, because. Alright, so large size. I need something that's huge. This will do. This is a big file. But it's a JPEG. But you know what? I might just. Let's see this one. It's another JPEG. So this is, you will run into this a lot when you're trying to. All the Game Informer high resolution ones. Okay, so now I'm gonna go to File, Place, embedded. I'm gonna try another one. I wish I could just get the font, but I can't. Let me see how this one looks. Okay, this. I think this is pretty good in terms of size. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna before that go back. Let me open up this file and see what's in here. You see, I can already see the pixels. You see that? This is what I didn't want. Those pixels right there, all around this. Now I can recreate it. In a vector program, but this is Photoshop, so I'm gonna do the quick and dirty. So I'm gonna use the magic wand, select inverse. Now I'm gonna Control J. Let's see. The reason why I wanted since it's a dark background, I'm gonna have to use white. Just fill it with a white. But first, let me select this. Fill that with white. Fill that with white. Okay, let's see how that looks. The light in the background is clashing with the font, so what we're gonna do is go into the background layer, get rid of the Titan. Titan has to go. Get rid of that Titan. And then also increase get rid of some of this back here. Get rid of some of this light, the light. And to make the game reformer stand out a little bit more, I'm going to take, where is it? It's right here. So rename this layer Game Informer. So I'm going to duplicate the layer, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bottom, and I'm going to either give it a black outline. I'm going to select it, and then I'm going to fill it for a blue outline. I'm going to fill it with the same blue color. Alright, just fill all of these, just in case. Right now I'm just filling the background layer. And what I'm going to do after I'm filling it, to get the illusion of like a shadow, I'm just going to Control T. And I'm just going to scale it like that. Just see how that looks. But you see, the problem is that's not really how normally the logo look. So what I might do is I might just, it's the background, that's the light up top is, see, that looks a lot better once I get rid of that light. So I'm going to grab these two top layers, Control select them. I'm just going to bring the light lower. Right? Bring this light lower. And then we're going to go to decrease the light, and you make this brush a lot bigger. Use a regular brush. That song is driving me nuts. Let's make something else. Make sure this is a loop. Okay. And now I'm just changing the brush size. And the opacity of the brush. Just want to fade that light. Some more like that. Sort of like that. That's good enough. Now her chin, I just noticed, is blended in with the background, so I'm gonna have to add like a rim light. Okay, so I'm going to go into the model layer, and then from here, I'll say it could be exactly on, it could be face accessories. So create a new layer. Oh, pin highlight. And all we're going to do is create a shape. So I'm going to start from here, click here. All I'm using is the pen tool. I created 2 points. This is the 3rd point. So click and drag. Alt click to close that anchor point. So from this anchor point here, I'm going to go into the middle right here. Create another really thin, like that. And then I'm going to connect this, just like that. And this shape right here, I'm going to go into paths, Control select inside of there, go back to layers, go back to the chin highlight layer, switch to a white fill, and just fill that in. Now this may or may not be too thick, but I'm gonna see how it looks. Okay, that's super thick. So we zoom back in, and I'm just gonna go to Control T, and I'm just make that. For some reason it's not letting me transform. Distort might work. I just distorted it a little bit. Still feel like it's too strong. And I could leave it, but increase this a little bit, about 50%. Something like that. Looks a little bit better. So yeah, that's a lot better. So now what I want to do is I want to get the magazine barcode. So I'm going to go back to Google. Type in magazine barcode. Just look for any old PNG. This is definitely a PNG. back into the title layer, create another layer, call this barcode, go file, place embedded. I'm looking for my barcode PNG that I downloaded. Since this is white, if I rasterize layer, click inside, and I'm just going to fill everything with white. Okay, so I'm not going to sit here and the problem was okay, so delete that, go back to Google, get a white barcode. Okay, so now I found a white one, it's pixelated. White. It must be a white barcode. I think this is one right here. You know what? This is what I'm gonna do. Undo that. Where's that barcode? There you go. I'm just going to put it on the white background. Create a square. White square right on top of it. Just like that. There's the barcode. And I'm just going to combine this layer. Merge layers. Scale this down. Something like that. And now I'm just on Google looking at Game Informer again. And I'm looking for so I'm just looking for the subtitles, so I'm just going to put Apex Legends Swamp. trying to figure out which logo to use for the Apex Legends. So I think I have an idea. So I'm going to create another. This is barcode. All right. I'm looking for Apex Legends. I'm trying to look for the logo for Apex Legends, which I'm not finding right now. How can I use this logo? Can't use this. Okay, so this should work. Yep. Either I'm gonna do something like that, but I think it's too much. So I feel like somewhere at the bottom, or right at the top, right there. Usually when you're doing stuff like this, it's usually left to right. So it'll be like right there, not hugging. Okay. But I also want to use maybe Valkyrie. Now I'm going to the font. I'm just going to put something like that. But I want a different font, so trying to see which works best. I don't want it to take too much away from the Game Informer logo. That looks okay. Now I'm just going to add a little square under it. Put it under. Just sort of like that. Still have the dilemma of this, so I might just put it on the bottom. But I don't want it to take up too much. So sort of like that by the barcode. Okay, so it's coming along. So now I want to go back to her face, but I think I should get the lighting because I kind of wanted but I'm gonna get some lighting from the background. So what I want to do is close the title for now. It's on the title, and go back to her face. Go to face accessories. Trying to find out where I put the okay, no. Changed her eyes. Yes, I did change her eyes, guys, because I wanted her to look more like Valkyrie eyes than the regular model's eyes, so I did change the eyes. Okay, let's switch up the song. Alright, let's see. Okay, so the face, like, this is her face tattoo. I kind of want. Is right now it's saturation, but I kind of want it to be just normal. Okay, that's normal. Okay, just leave it like that for now. I'm gonna select the face tattoo, and I want to fill it with white. I wanted to change that. I don't think all of this is being filled. Okay, so now it's white. So now I'm going to try to figure out if I should do something more subtle, a little bit something more, like that stands out a little bit more. I think this might be cool, but okay, so what I'm gonna do is create Control J on the texture layer. I'm going to hide the top one, and then the bottom one. Now I'm going to keep. This is more subtle. I think soft light looks. Soft light looks good. Hard light is too much. I think I'm gonna go with soft light. That definitely looked the best. So all I'm doing is changing the layer mask, the layer overlay. Soft light. Okay, so I'm just gonna soft light. Move this one. It looked. Was it soft light? I think it was another layer because hard light. Hard mix. Just change subtract. Oh, it was divide. No, was it divide? No, it's not divide. Sorry, I'm literally trying to figure out which overlay I had. I think I'm going to use divide. Alright. Okay, so I'm going to my brush. Now I'm using a brush, and all I'm doing is painting away the areas that I don't want. in the mask of the face texture. So sort of like that. That looks good. And then the other thing I want to do is I want to add some dirt textures and also some paint splatter. So I could paint that in, but what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to first look for dirt textures. Anything that you could use to speed up your time when it comes to production work, use it. Alright, so I'm looking for dirt textures. Alright, right now I don't. Let me see. I'm not finding any dirt textures. I might have to just paint. So yeah, I'm gonna have to paint it myself. That's fine. Because I can't find any PNGs that I can use for dirt textures. So what I'm gonna go in here. I'm going to use the brush. Scale this brush down. Then I'm going to go and use this tool, brush tool. I'm looking for the first one to use a little bit smaller. Birds. Those are bird textures. What I'm doing right now is just looking at different tools for the brush. So now I'm in the brush folder, and all I'm doing is playing around with the size and the spacing. and changing the color. So now I'm going to go into the face texture. Face accessories. So in here, we'll call this layer dirt. Okay, no, not that. It's a little bit too subtle. And I'm not liking this brush, so I'm going to use the one I had before. This is a little bit better. That works a little bit better. What I might do is create a mask, and then I'm just going to brush away some of this. Like that. See how that looks. No, I just didn't want her face so, and then decrease the opacity. So clean. Control J that. Control J again. Make some copies, and then I'm just gonna move this over somewhere else. Like right here. Rotate this so that it looks a little bit different. Increase the opacity. So instead, you know, Control J again. Move this somewhere else. Increase the direction. Change the opacity for this one. So now her face is a little bit dirty. Maybe her face is a little bit. Okay, I can decrease some. Too much. Get rid of some of this. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Yeah. So now she has a little bit of dirt. So now it's coming together. So now it's just I want to add the lighting. But that same dirt texture I could add to other places, but what I want to do is add some foreground smoke. Alright, we're coming to the final stages. I really want to finish this. In this one, I don't think but there's a lot more that I have to do. So I might do one more part. I don't know. I might do one more part to add the, because I have to fix the lighting, a little bit more smoke in the foreground. So let me go into the background now. The background layer. So this is one of the smoke. I want to add another smoke layer. Try this one. Something like that. Smoke is sort of coming from her. Rasterize the layer, and then now I'm just looking at the smoke layer is going to work. Right, I don't want to add too much smoke, but again, crazy over delay. Okay, so now I'm gonna decrease the opacity because the smoke is too strong. I'm gonna use my brush. Okay, something like that. Now I just want to change the a little more smoke, but I want it to be in the foreground. And I want it to be in front of her, so I can put it right there, like that. Which one works the best to me? I think that's too hard. It might be screen or normal, but the problem with normal is just give me some of this. No, it's not working. Sometimes when something just doesn't work, and this will probably like really low, maybe. I just feel like I had it before. Let's try it. That works right there. Something like that. That's good. I'm happy with that. save this. Alright, so what I want to do now is add some lighting effects to her face and her body. So I'm going to go into the model layer. Let me just close the background for now. But you know what? I'm going to stay... I'm going to stay in this background layer. And then now I'm going to do the lighting. Hold on 1 second. Okay. I'm going to use my brush. For my brush tool, I need my Wacom tablet. So I'm going to connect my Wacom. Give me 1 second, guys, while I connect this. I got my Wacom tablet is connected. I want to paint behind her. But what I want to do is I'm going to put this in screen, this layer, screen, because it's going to be a highlight. And then we're going to press the eyedropper tool. Select that yellow. Go back to brush. And then I'm just going to sort of give behind her some lighting. See, like that. Just a little too much. The other issue I have is that since this is below, this has to be above everything else over here. call this layer body light. I'm gonna go in this layer. Just select this. I want this color. So that should be good. I don't want too much. The problem is I need a new welcome tab. Increasing the brush size. I have some difficulty here. And I think the lighting I got here down here is already good enough. So now I'm going to go into the face layer. I'm going to add the same thing in the face. And face accessories. Get another layer. Put a zoom in. Make the brush a little bit smaller, and then I'm just going to try to like try 4% opacity, and I'm just adding a little bit of highlight, just a little bit on her face. All right. Trying to undo some of that. Added some color over there on her face. A couple of, probably gonna add a little bit more. Where her nose is. Okay. Some little areas. Yep, it's looking good now. So the only thing now is I would say the white paint splatter. Okay, so hold on one second. Alright, so I'm just going to add some paint splatter. Okay, so I'm gonna add this paint splatter. Alright, file is embedded. I can find this paint splatter. So okay, so I downloaded some paint splatter that I cannot use. Just trying to find true PNG files that I can use. I think I found some. Okay. So I'm going to use try this one. But not so small. So increase the size of this. Maybe something like that. I'll go paste another one in. And I want this one to be behind her. So rasterize this layer. Yep, like that. But I don't want it to clash so much. So I'm going to delete some of this. Now, if I feel like this is a little bit too strong, I think it looks good. I might make the Apex logo bigger. And also, what I like is that since this is in the background, it lightens up the side of her, uh, the hair that was being really black. I also want to increase the Apex logo. So I go back into the title. I can make it like that big. So like that. I think this is pretty much coming towards an end. I like the way it looks so far. There's nothing really that I probably won't want to do. Maybe some, I guess, some sparks to go in the foreground. So sparks foreground. And I'm gonna bring this up. And now I'm just looking for the sparks layer. Try this one. Whichever looks the best. Let's lighten. Screen. I think linear dodge looks the best. Yeah, I'm going with linear dodge. Yeah, linear dodge. Okay, so now I don't want too much of this. Maybe some of it to get rid of a lot of it. I don't want it to be on her face. Something like that right there looks good. What I'm going to do is use my brush. And round this back. Like that. Bring that back. Be selective on what I want to come back. That's good. Now there's maybe one more thing I would like to add. She looks too pretty, so I'm gonna add a star. Let's see what I could get. There's actually some good scars online. I'm surprised. Okay, so let's see if any of these scars will work. So just doing file, place in bed. Just looking for the scars that I downloaded. I'll try this one first, see if it's No, that doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. Let me try another one. This is not a PNG, but see what I can get something that looks. That is not gonna work. So, you know what? I think it's. What I want to do is, instead of a scar, I'll go back in the face accessories and then just increase some of this dirt smudging. Just felt like her face looked too perfect. I just want some smudging. Without it being too noticeable or too like, yeah, you put smudging. Something like that. Now I kind of want it to be higher. But they should do it. Yeah, that's good. Now the only other thing I probably want to do is add kanji in the background. So the Japanese kanji that you see on her wing, on the left side, I'm gonna add one to on the right side. Guys, if you just joined me, I am pretty much doing the Valkyrie magazine cover for Apex Legends. Alright, so now it's just the final touches. Okay, so
Okay, so forgot where I was. Um, yeah, the kanji. So let me close this. Open it back up. Where's those wings? Top wing. So where's this? Okay, so on top of this wing. Okay, so I'm gonna add. Delete. You know what? I'm not even gonna add the Japanese kanji. I'm gonna add the Apex logo. I'm gonna add this. Delete that. Delete. Delete. So now this is just the last. Okay, so now sort of like right there. And then we're gonna do the same. And I totally forgot.
It was an overlay. There you go.
Layer mask now, and then I'm just going to use the brush, same brush I had before, and just no, I don't like the way that looks. I need a more streaky kind of brush. I think that's fine the way it is like that. I don't know, I think it stands out a little bit too much. Like it's clashing with something. I don't want it to take too much away from the title. And also, I could probably make it bigger. Sort of like. So like right there, like that. I think that looks good. It's looking good, guys. Looking good. Like what I see. All right, so now I think I want to add this color into this right here. This, burgundy, the Game Informer logo. So we'll close the model for now. I'm going to go into title. I just want to throw this color back in here. Let's see how that looks. So I hate pixels. Oh, that doesn't work because of the. What might work. Now there's some pixels that need to be I just want to choose this color right here. All these dirty pixels. Yep, that's what I wanted to do. So now that's pretty much done. The only other thing I need to do is mask out because this model, right? I need to get rid of this wing.
Alright, so where's the wing? It's one wing. Well, you gotta really organize. And it's like, even though you try your best to organize, you sometimes get lazy, but you definitely pay for it. Okay, so now it's in the arm textures. Front wing. Alright. So what I need to do is just grab this. Just gonna paint this away. No, I do not want to move it, you mother effer. Okay, so now I'm gonna do the same thing for the Japanese texture. Alright, so in this layer, I'm just going to remove that. And do the same over here. There you go. And that is pretty much it. We're done. Thank you guys once again for joining me. This has been I don't know, 8 hours on and off. This is 3 hours today. Before that, I did another hour. So also, there's going to be the edited version of this that I'm gonna upload. Whenever I get around to it, I'll upload that version. But you guys have this. You guys have the full version unedited that you can see exactly what I'm doing in the live stream. But yeah, I will figure out why OBS is not recording when I go to the menus in Photoshop. I don't know why it's doing that. I think it's a graphics card issue, but I will fix that sooner or later. But yeah, I am happy that the way this came out, it came out a lot better than I thought it was going to. Because man, it was really hard trying to figure out. How I was going to try to make Valkyrie look in a magazine portrait. Thank you guys once again for joining me. I appreciate it. I will do another live stream, but I probably will go back to the drawing before I do another Photoshop type drawing. So look out for the next 2 drawings. Thank you guys once again for joining me, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Doing out.